Welcome to
Best job.
Look at Us. Look at Us. This time we actually have cha.
No, we don't.
It's not. It's water.
Can't lie. This is water. This is my cute little cup that I've got. Yeah, I've got. I mean, it's got a straw. I couldn't drink my tea through this anyway. I think it'd be too hot and it might burn a little bit. You have to take little sips, just like you're doing. But that's water.
Yeah, that thing is loud. It's really bad for video.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not going to drink it too much. Just when I feel like I need a little sip. It's okay too.
What's up?
Are you really looking at your phone right now?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I'm looking at the notes for the day.
The notes? Okay. I was going to say, if you're really doing something else right now.
All right. I'm ready to get started today.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Tomorrow's Monday.
Tomorrow's Monday.
But today technically is Monday because that's when everybody's listening to this.
But today's technically Monday. Okay, I couldn't repeat
You're literally
everything.
copying everything that I'm saying. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you've got your tea in front of you, your cha. I hope you're ready to dive into this episode. What are we talking about today, Sk2?
I have no idea.
You don't?
Explain it to me.
Well, what...
I'm sorry, I didn't plan for this one today.
You've literally got the notes in front of you. What we're talking about today is being too comfortable in your relationship.
Oh.
Does this resonate with you?
Yeah, like if you're pooping and you leave the door open, is that too comfortable?
I mean, I would say so.
Yeah,
like that can fall under
comfortable.
one of the categories that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So basically, we're talking about being too comfortable in a relationship, whether it's in your relationship, partnership, marriage, whatever it may be, friendship. Well, I don't know. This really applies to friendship, but your marriage specifically, since we are a marriage podcast, we're going to be discussing. Today, we're going to be discussing your comfortability in your relationship, and specifically, we're really going to be talking about what it means to be comfortable in your relationship, the signs of being too comfortable, the impact that this can have on your relationship, how to address this with your partner, and how to rekindle the spark in your relationship and how to overcome this.
You gotta sit them down. You gotta slap them a few times and be like, stop it.
Stop it?
Yeah.
That'll do the trick. Everybody,
And
don't
we'll see you
listen
guys
to
next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye! No. Everybody don't listen to Sk2. That's not what we're going to do. There are a lot of ways that we'll get into, but being comfortable is a pretty complex topic, and I think that it's important to talk about because a lot of people have this in their relationship with their significant other, where you just go through phases, and you can't necessarily help it. You know, you don't, like, sometimes you can't even see it. Sometimes it would take somebody from an outside point of view to be like, oh, you know, maybe you guys say, well, I don't know, shouldn't say this in front of each other, or like shouldn't do this, and it's like, oh, I didn't realize we're too comfortable in our relationship. Sometimes it can just happen and you don't even know it.
It's just a sense of like, it's not bad to get very comfortable in your relationship, but it is bad when you get to a point of comfortability where you the other person doesn't find you attractive anymore. Like that kind of effect.
Oh, well, that would be bad. Yeah.
I hope you can get to that point. Like it can go pretty far.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be, so it's good to be comfortable, like Sk2 is saying, but you don't want to be complacent.
Complacent. That's a big word. What does that mean?
I mean, you don't want to just be like, I don't know, really used to the other person.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be just like, oh, whatever. Our relationship doesn't matter. Like I can do this, and I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but you can be comfortable. It's good to be comfortable. I like being comfortable with you. I don't want to be on edge with you. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to be like fully putting it all out there when you don't need to.
Want to make sure you think about what you say before you say it.
Yes.
In that sense, like I think I've ran into situations where I'm like, I just say whatever pops in the top of my head because I'm like, oh, this is Hallie, right? She's my best friend, my wife.
There it is.
And
there it is.
I just say whatever I want. And sometimes you got to like take a step back and be like, wow, even though she's my best friend, she's still my wife, and I can't say anything I want to say.
Like you need to still have some respect there.
Yeah.
You know, you need to respect people's boundaries. You need to just realize, oh, I can't say whatever I want just because we've been married for 2 years now and we've been together for 8 doesn't mean I can say just whatever I want to you. I still need to process in my mind, like if we're in an argument, for example, okay, I know that I'm upset by this, but I don't want to say something that I know is going to hurt his feelings. So let me think about it and try and respect him a little bit more and say something with a little bit more thought behind it. And just, you know, don't fully put everything out there on the line. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I
I think there's also another point to it about just not trying anymore. That could be a point of like getting too comfortable. Yeah. It's like, oh, we're already married. We don't have to try.
Which I've heard people people say that, and that doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah.
There's one point, I want to say it later, but that is kind of on the line of where I'm going, where I was thinking you do need to try, you need to put an effort into your relationship, no matter how long you've been together, if you want it to be successful. That's the bottom line. So I think I think it's very important to address this, again, because I think a lot of people go through this, and you want to ensure that you have a strong relationship and that you make it last, especially if you're married. You're stuck with each other, right? Like, we have to make it work.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Otherwise,
I've said that
we
after
die.
an argument. Sometimes I've said that after an argument, and we're like both annoyed with each other. And I'm like, you know what? We're not just dating anymore. We're married. Like, we have to make it work. You have to make it work. Like, you're stuck with me. Sorry.
I'm happy with that.
I know. I am too. I want to make that very clear.
She's not.
But it's really important to address. And I think the point of this episode is that we want to share our experiences and our little tips and tricks to help anybody out there if you're going through this situation right now, to prevent it later on down the line. And like I said, sometimes it just happens and you can't always control it. And we want to point out some signs maybe that you can think, oh, this is happening in my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want that to happen. And you will go through phases, because I've noticed maybe there have been some times where I've been too comfortable with you, and then we try really hard and put a lot of effort into our relationship, and then we get out of that, and then we go in and out. I mean, you just kind of ebb and flow through it, I think. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have,
no, I agree.
You don't have your mic up. Okay. So, Casey, I want to ask you, what does it mean to be too comfortable in a relationship?
It means that you poop with the door open.
That's a good example. Yeah.
You are farting in front of your significant other all the time.
Well, I mean, like, you can do that.
I do that all the time.
He's done that since we started dating, so I mean, we weren't that comfortable back then.
It just means, like, you are getting to a point where your significant other is not your significant other. It's like your roommate or your friend. It's not really anyone special. Like, you're not treating them in any different way than you would a best friend or a friend.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, you want to be comfortable but not complacent or stagnant in your relationship. Yeah. It's almost like when you get too comfortable, there's no room for you to really grow and better your relationship. You always want to, try and better your relationship. You can always be better. I say that all the time, that we can always be better with each other, and better individually and better for each other. And I had an example of what I was going to say. Oh, no. There's a book. That we've heard of that I have tried to get on my library app so many times, and I can't get it. It's called Talk to Me Like You Love Me, I think.
Yeah.
And I really want to listen to that with you. So anybody listening, you should go check out that book, but don't rent it because I want it on the app. But no, it's really good. And talking to somebody and treating somebody like you really love them, not just being too comfortable with them. You're still respecting them and just still really caring about them, still putting in a lot of effort into your relationship. So that would be really good. I want to eventually get that book and we can listen to it together, because we like to listen to audiobooks together. So, okay, you talked about a little bit what it's like to be too comfortable. You gave some great examples. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like, pooping with the door open.
It's a big one.
I think those are all important to recognize. There are more serious ones that we can talk about as well, but those are some of the ones. I mean, I don't know. Katie's been doing all those things since day one, so is that funny to you?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So let me think. Some other signs of being too comfortable, maybe, I don't know, you were talking about being roommates, being friends, me mothering you, like,
that's a big one.
Doing things for you. I mean, it's crazy because it can happen in so many ways. And definitely some things that can make it feel like you're being too comfortable, or like if I do something and you neglect it, right? So say, like, I brought it up on this podcast many times, me cooking for you, right?
I just kind of start eating.
Yeah, you just start eating. You just start eating sometimes. And that bothers, well, okay, not always, because I understand you're hungry. I'm hungry too.
Yeah.
But I want you to be appreciative of it.
No, I get it.
And think about now versus when we started dating. Give me an example of something now that you feel too comfortable about, whereas 8 years ago when we first got together, what would you have been like maybe more appreciative or really vocal and thoughtful about?
Well, yeah, no, I think the making food, like, I just expect it now, right? Like, it's like, it's lunchtime, where's the food at, you know?
Hello!
And so I just expect it, which isn't a good thing. And before, like, when we first met, I remember you made me like a pasta once. Like,
I made you a pasta.
it was like I don't know. I was hungry. You made it for me. And like, she would get so mad at me if I didn't tell her I was hungry because she wanted to make me food. And I felt really bad at that time because I was just like, you don't have to go through all the trouble of making me food. And then she made the food and it was like the best thing ever because she was making it for me. And now it's just like, oh, lunchtime, time to go. Oh, dinner time to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Where you just sit on that couch and I'm slaving away in the kitchen, like,
hey,
cooking.
I'm doing the dishes, though.
I know. See, but there it is, too, because, yes, I want you to, like, I don't know. This goes back to our love languages episode where I talked about how it's such a love language of mine to, if acts of cooking, or no, not acts of cooking, but, like, giving...
Acts of service.
Yeah, acts of service. I know it's not acts of cooking, but I was trying to make up a cute little name for it. Like, acts of service is a big love language of mine because I love cooking for you and providing for you. So when you don't reciprocate or act super grateful for that, then that bothers me. And it's like, oh, well, he just expects this from me, right?
Yeah, I get that.
You get that example in every podcast, but it's very relevant, I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another one, well, I mean, I guess along those lines, like you said this before, like you... I mean, I guess cooking, cleaning, you've made the bed before and I haven't said anything because I've been in a rush to go to my meeting. Like, I have, like, work to get done or, like, there have been times where I've woken up a little late, let's be honest, and I'm rushed down to go downstairs to my work computer for a meeting or whatever it may be. And you make the bed, like, you've cleaned our room up a little bit, like, after you've gotten up, and I don't always notice. How does that make you feel?
Yeah. Well, this is the whole thing. Goes back to words of affirmation. I just need you to tell me that I did a good job because that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at on that. And I think because it happens every day, like there's no point in saying it every day, but it still makes a big difference when you do say it.
It does. Exactly. And one more that I just thought of is like, you've gotten on me for this a few times, but you've trimmed your beard up.
Oh, yeah.
And if you come downstairs and see me, you're looking at me like you expect me to notice. And I don't always notice. Or like I'll be like, oh, looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you didn't have a beard when we first started dating. You didn't have a beard till COVID, really.
Yeah.
But when,
got a haircut.
years ago, like haircut, I usually notice, but sometimes I don't always say something.
Yeah.
And I think that like I need to fully make it a point to be like, oh my gosh, you look so good, because that just makes you feel good, right?
Yeah. It makes me feel real good.
Like makes you feel good and appreciated, and it's important to recognize that because that's only gonna, make your day a little bit better.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I agree.
Another one is lack of effort. There we go. Of spending time together. Mm-hmm. And this can happen
when life gets busy.
Yeah, and you're not really fully making an effort to spend a lot of time together, which so many people go through. And I know especially after you have children, it's very hard, which we don't understand quite yet because we're not there. Mm-mm. But even with all of our hobbies and businesses and everything that we've got going on right now, it's very hard for us to actually find time to spend together.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, well, like we've been doing this all week, we're tired. Like, let's sit on the couch and watch something instead. No.
Yeah.
For me, I need to go out, like, say we go on a coffee date. Going on a coffee date with you is like my favorite thing to do. Or we go to a dinner somewhere, or we go on a picnic. Like, it doesn't have to be, you actually spend money. Like, we could make a small little dinner together and go picnic somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I feel like we've gotten a little bit worse about that as time has gone on, because when you're in the beginning stages of a relationship, you definitely make more of an effort to impress the other person.
You're like, you want to do this, you want to do that, but then, that's like the first time you're doing things, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then you get into a mode of like, oh, we've already done that. There's no point in doing that again. Oh, we've already done this, And so it becomes habit to just be like, oh, well, we've already had this experience. Why would we go through it again? And whatever. So I I can see where this can play a big part, but even like this like you said, you mentioned this podcast sometimes taking precedence, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you how hard, like sometimes we will be like about to do the podcast and then we're like, oh my God, we really don't want to do this.
We like it. We enjoy it.
We love doing this, but the start, like getting started into it, it's so hard to just, it's because like we haven't trained ourselves to actually take the time, sit with each other and just talk.
Yeah. I mean, we do
this is our therapy
briefly.
section.
We do very briefly. We don't sit down and stare at each other like this across the table for an hour every
And
Sunday.
so this is like amazing. I love doing the podcast. But it's just getting the camera set up, getting the light set up, getting us to sit down, planning it, that work in the back end, because it takes so much time, it's so hard to just do it.
Yeah.
And stuff like it has to do with, just being able to sit down, spend time together. But after we start, like now it's perfect. I love doing this.
Like it flows really well.
Yes.
I feel good. We talk about stuff, whatever. It's definitely been kind of hard, and we've been seeing a lot of things on this lately where it's just getting actually started into something. We just recently read Atomic Habits. If you haven't done that, you should.
Very great.
Very good. And it was just saying, it's very hard to form habits and very hard to keep them up, but just so it's actually after you start seeing the success, actually after you start blah, 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 then it all starts to pan out and it's much easier to keep doing that habit. And I think personally, we've really learned a lot from doing this and we spent a lot of time doing it together. So it's been really enjoyable for us to keep doing it.
Okay. This is the last side note. We just hit total.
Oh, yeah.
Half Past Cha has reached an audience of over 100,000 people.
That's insane.
Across all our platforms. It doesn't mean like this podcast has that many views, but all the shorts, all the videos from Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and YouTube all together, 100,000 people have seen it.
What?
So
what? I mean, that's crazy.
And there's one reason for that. There's a consistency.
Yeah.
Doing this consistently, making time for your partner consistently, setting date nights consistently. You will never see a difference if you do it you will only see a difference.
You will never see a difference.
I said you will never see a difference if you don't do it every single week. I'm serious. I've never, ever, I've been making videos for the last 10 years. I've never been consistent for more than a month or two. I've been consistent, posting every week or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, woohoo. And then I just stop because I don't see any difference.
Here you are.
This is the first time I've ever seen what consistency can do.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So that was a little side note, but I think it was important to share too because we've been being very consistent with this and being very uncomfortable in talking about certain things and actually uploading to YouTube and Spotify and having people listen to us talk. We've been really coming out of our comfort zones, I think, and it's been really good for us in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with that?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I like this stuff.
I know, I do too. So with that, let's talk about the impact that this can have on your relationship and being too comfortable and me being like a mommy to I don't want to say that. Me being like your mom. Me being your mommy. No, and me being kind of motherly to you and picking up your stuff off the ground, cooking for you, cleaning the house, doing all these things, right? And then me on the flip, you handling the finances and you doing certain things for me and being my roommate essentially.
Yeah, I told Hallie, I was like, Hallie, did you make your car payment today? As if I am responsible for her, she is an adult, she should know that. Right?
Yeah, we were on our walk today.
Again.
Yeah, see, we were on our walk today, and this made me so mad. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. We were walking, and we were having a great time, and out of the blue, you're like, so did you make your car payment today? And I was like, hello?
Just making sure.
We're just walking. Can we, walking is for fun talks, and, I'm all down for talking about this. That's great, but...
wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time. Let's talk about it when I'm in front of my phone. We can do it together. I just... Yeah,
and I attacked her rather than just, being nice. Hey, have you paid your car payment today?
Well, see, that's the right way to handle it. Don't ever attack people. Don't
Yeah.
come at them unexpectedly because it's not fair. And like you coming at me like that,
I was
in
coming
other
at
ways,
ya.
You were very aggressively.
Guns
might I add.
blazing.
It caught me off guard, and that's like that kind of reminds me of when you say things to me super early in the morning, and I'm like, "Hello, let me wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, let me let me get into my routine." And then maybe we can talk about serious stuff. Anyways, being too comfortable in your relationship can lead to a lot of emotional distance and lack of emotional connection. And there have been quite a few times where I've said, K2, I don't really feel emotionally connected to you right now.
And those are the times where I'm like, okay, what can I do to make you feel more emotionally connected? And then what do you say?
I just, I want to have conversations. I want to go on little dates.
Looking into each other's
You say
eyes.
that. You always say, let's
I
look into
love
each other's
that.
eyes. Let's stare into each other's eyes and not blink for a minute.
You'd be surprised, everybody. Go ahead, go to your
It's
significant
impossible
other,
to be mad at somebody when you stare straight in their eyes like this.
look into their eyes.
You're just looking at one eye for me.
Yeah, I only have one eye that works, so
I know.
yeah.
I know.
It's a tough life.
It's okay, honey. No, it's very important that you recognize this because it can take so many tolls on your relationship. Like I said, the lack of, just emotional connection, of intimacy, of closeness in your relationship, that can really start to just
Yeah,
to your relationship. Would you agree?
I agree.
I mean, we've seen it happen. Like I said, we've been together a long time.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, we've been together 8 years. Been together since high school. We've seen each other in the best and the worst situations. We've been with each other through it all. It's been hard. I mean, it's not easy, and being married is hard, and having children, adding to that relationship is hard, and just getting older together is hard.
And being together for a long period of time, you know each person's weak points. So like what bothers them.
my
You
gosh.
know what makes them happy, and
Yeah.
and all these points. But I don't know what it is, but when you get comfortable, you choose to attack their weak
You
points.
choose to choose. Yes, I know you do. You naturally do attack their weak points because you're like, oh, I'll get him.
We're such humans. God.
I know.
Us humans.
We're so lame. Like, who does
What's
that?
wrong with us?
The biggest thing that you need to take away from this is that just, talk about your problems.
Yeah.
Just don't get too comfortable. Oh my gosh, because in times where I have felt too comfortable like that with Saketu, it's the worst. I hate that. Or when I don't feel emotionally connected to you, it's like, what can we do that's going to make this better? Because I hate this right now for us. I hate that we're not emotionally connected. We're not on the same level. We're not flowing together. We're not actively, easily working together. This is hard.
Yeah,
Like it
I
feels
agree.
like it's taking work for us to really put into our relationship to make it a little bit better right now. When sometimes it comes easier, but when I feel like that, it comes much harder. Yeah.
I agree.
You agree with that? Yeah.
It is just harder.
It is. And so the number one piece of advice that I have to overcome this is date each other.
Date each other.
That's the biggest advice I have.
And by that, it's hard to date each other when you live together. So what Hallie's trying to say is don't let the other person know what you're going to do. Bring them flowers one day.
Oh, yeah.
Plan a date. Like tell them like, "Oh, be ready at 7 and plan a date." Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be great. Yeah, no, I fully agree with that because it's things like that. It's the little things in life.
Communication is great,
Communication.
but over communication is bad.
Yeah.
There's a sense. There's a middle ground. I
Yeah.
feel like if you over communicate, that is also can lead to being too comfortable in a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
just
no,
me.
I agree. I think number one, absolutely, you need to date each other. More importantly, like hold that up here. Date each other, absolutely. Number two, communicate your feelings openly, honestly. Listen when the other is not feeling appreciated or emotionally connected to you, or you're feeling too comfortable. You need to talk about that, but you don't need to over communicate that
Yeah.
because that's when you start to spiral and say too
Yeah.
many things, and
Yeah,
then
you
it just
hallucinate
gets
a little
worse
bit.
from there.
You need some
You
milk.
hallucinate. Our milk's gone.
We need to go get some milk.
I know. We need to go to the store, actually. Okay, so I want to go back to dating each other because this is so, so important.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some examples of that, okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Express your appreciation for each other. Plan date nights. Plan little surprises. Plan romantic gestures. Go on a picnic. Like I was saying earlier, you can go do something for free or you can do something that costs money. I don't know. Do whatever floats your boat.
Plan a murder.
Well, I mean, you could be, if you did it together, at least you'd be together in jail together. That's kind of sweet.
Yeah. And then we'll make an episode on a true crime mystery.
Yeah, and then we'll be like in prison together and that'll be cute. Okay. I mean, just doing anything. Plan coffee dates. Plan
Coffee
an
dates
hour.
are easy.
Plan just like we're doing right now. Plan an hour a week where you can go spend. Katie, let's go sit over there and let's have a conversation for an hour. Let's just talk about our feelings. Let's talk about what we love about each other, what could be improved upon, things that will get us a little bit out of that comfortability feeling.
Spend 2 minutes to message us on Instagram and be like, hey guys, I have a question for you. Right? That's a way to spend time together.
Oh yeah, you guys can do it together.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like couples talking to couples. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yes, I think it's a great idea.
I think having one thing that's been really good for us is having deep and meaningful conversations about our lives together. Like what we look like now, what we looked like back when we started dating or a few years ago or whatever, what we want to look like in the future, what we want to do to get there. We talk about Sylvie, we talk about children, we talk about our families, we talk about friends. Like we talk about so many things that are just good that, really get us thinking and bring us closer together.
One day I was struggling a lot and it was just a tough day. I was just frustrated the entire day, and Hallie was just like, can you please go into your notebook and write 10 things you're grateful for? And so I went to my notebook, I wrote 10 things I'm grateful for, and then she made me share them with her. And me just talking about it out loud made me feel 10 times closer to her. I felt better overall. But like little things like that can really change someone's day, someone's life, whatever it may be.
I agree. I like to do that often. Journaling is very key as well, if that's something that you're into. I've got my little journal. I've also got like my Burn After Writing book that really prompts you with thought-provoking questions and little prompts that you can write about. And I really enjoy thinking about all the things that are going right in my life and what I'm grateful for. And life is too short, K2. I could die tomorrow. You want to be happy, don't you? I want to be happy.
Yeah.
So the stupid little things don't matter, right? So to me, it's like we just need to focus on us right now. We need to have the best time of our lives. We need to love each other fully. We need to do all the things to make our relationship as special as we possibly can.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's the only way to live.
Let's date each other.
Let's date each other. Okay,
I love dating
bye.
each other. Yeah,
we're going on a date.
Actually, we are going on a coffee date today.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Which is a really special time for us because, we're going to work. We always go to coffee shops and we work together. That's another thing that we like to do. And we just get to spend together but separate time apart. That's a really key point right there. So, with that, I want to go into how important it is to have your own individual growth.
Yeah, that's a good one. Something that I like doing, going on runs by myself.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's great.
It's the best thing.
Well, you don't have me to slow you down.
Yeah, that too. Yes. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm serious.
Going on runs together, going on runs by myself. For me, the best thing I can do in terms of individual growth is making my videos. I love making videos.
Yeah.
And being able to do that is one of my favorite.
Well, probably the biggest thing that I've learned in our marriage is that, yes, we are growing together in so many ways, but we also need to grow separately. And why are you staring at the camera?
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't staring at the camera. I got distracted. I was looking at the wall.
I'm looking straight at you. Anyways, the biggest lesson that I've learned while we've been married, and I'm still continuing to see and learn all the time, is that yes, we're growing together, but we need to grow separately and continue to do that to bring our best selves to our marriage.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Yeah. So what that means is, like you were saying, that you love to go on runs by yourself. I love to go on walks by myself. I love to cook by myself. you can do all kinds of things by yourself that are going to give you a little bit of space from that person. I don't want to say
You said it as if like I'm the worst person. Like, you're like, just give me some space.
But like realistically, it's not normal, especially after COVID. Like things have just changed. It's not normal to spend every second with each other, right? And that can just accelerate the process of feeling so comfortable with each other.
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like we really started to get that way even more so after we were married and living together.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. In the wintertime,
oh my gosh.
it's hard to get away from each other in the wintertime because you have nowhere to go.
Well, yeah, you don't. And you're trapped inside. It's like, and it's,
People in California and Florida will never understand.
Yeah, but here in the Midwest, it sucks in the winter. So best of luck to everybody here. When it's wherever it's cold, if you're wherever you're living, that it gets really cold in the winter and snowy, I'm sorry for you.
Yep.
So, yes, I mean, it's not normal to spend like every single second together. And like, yes,
keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the other thing to make sure is the one thing that I love doing every Sunday or most Sundays is watching F1.
Yeah.
And having a partner that supports me doing that. Oh my gosh. Like I will like literally there's so much work to do in the house and Hallie will let me sit on the couch and be like, watch whatever you want like that day. And it's like the best feeling in the world. So having support from your significant other to be able to do what you want to do and them encouraging you to do what you want to do, that is like top, like best thing that can happen.
I got you.
Yeah. It's the best.
Well, yeah, because that just goes along with, we can have our own things separately, but then I want to support you in the things that I'm here for F1. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc, like, great guy. But that's your thing, and that's okay. And you can have your own thing, and I'll support you in that. Just like I have my own things.
Your books.
Yeah, like I love to read. Skate doesn't do that with me.
Yeah, but I love going to the library and taking her to the library.
Yeah. So you can do that. I mean, just overall having your own hobbies, but then still like having some shared hobbies. Like we have this podcast. We like to go on walks together. We like to go to the library together or coffee dates. We love to spend our time together, but in order to bring my best self to our relationship, I need to be able to have my alone time and have my own things that I focus on that you're not fully a part of.
Yeah.
And that's just how it goes. It's not me trying to exclude you. It's just what everybody needs.
I get it.
You get it.
Yeah, I get it. I know.
It's key. I mean, really it is. And so alongside with that, I want to mention too, people have said this for years, and it's the truth. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Well, it does. Explain.
It's because when you go away, like when I'm on a trip for work, I am missing Hallie more than anything because everything around me just reminds me of her. I go get some food. I'm like, wow, I wish I had somebody to talk to.
I wish Hallie's food.
I wish that. And then like whenever I'm at a restaurant or something and I'm not with Hallie, it's like I'm looking at the menu and I literally text her the menu because I'm like, hey, what's good on here? As if I can't see the menu. You know what I mean? But it's just like everything reminds me of her, makes me miss her, and it makes me love her even more. So.
Oh, well, see that. I mean, just that last thing that you said, it makes me love her even more. Yeah. That's what you want. Because back to what I was saying a little bit ago, if you spend every single second together, you don't get a chance to miss each other and want to be in each other's presence because you're in each other's presence all the time.
Yeah.
And when you go on those trips, I mean, I hate when you go. I hate when you leave. I'm always so sad when you leave. But whenever you come back, I'm so happy. I mean, not that I wouldn't be happy, but I love when you come back because I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole time you're gone, I'm thinking, okay, what can we do together? What can we do when he gets back? What can I make him for dinner that he'll be so happy about? Like, what can we go do? And what can we can just chillax on the couch. That's fine with me too. But what can we do that's gonna, be extra special when he comes back?
Yeah.
And so I love that feeling. I mean, I hate when you leave, but it's true. Absence truly does make the heart grow fonder. So with that, you go on business trips. Maybe you go out for guys' night. Maybe I go out for girls' night. Or like I just go on a walk with one of my friends. Or you go make a video with some of your friends. It's stuff like that. Stuff like that it's good and healthy to have relationships with other people, but you need to have your person to come back to at the end of the day.
Yep.
Because I love to talk with you about everything. Like if we're apart for a day, I love to come back and talk with you about everything that's happened that day.
We get our tea out. We're like spilling all of it all over us. It's everywhere.
All over. We're messy with the tea.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
Well, it's true. I mean, and that's one of the best things too, because it's like, you are my husband, but you're my bestie. You're my best friend. So we always have things to talk about. And it can be hard too, because you guys, we work together.
Yeah, we do.
We work together. Well, we're at home together. We live together, right? That's
Yeah.
number one. Number two, we
Then-
do photo and video together. Number three, we work at the same company, not in the same area at all. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
But we still, like, we drive to work together and we do all these things together. So actually, one might ask, what do you guys even have to talk about?
Yeah, it's hard to find things to talk about, but there's so many things to talk about.
There are. And so, like, it's good even because we do work at the same company, right? So we still have two very different jobs.
Yeah.
We have so much to talk about at the end of the day.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like I have conversations with my parents. Hallie has conversations with her parents. What did your mom say? What did my mom say?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
What's going on?
What did I talk to the neighbor out as I was going to get the mail?
Yeah.
What did I like? There's so many things. There's like anything and everything to talk about. If somebody says that they don't have anything to talk about because they're together 24/7,
That's a lie.
That's a lie. They're making excuses. They just don't want to talk. They're probably not in love.
Well, we just love to talk.
just
We
kidding.
talk all the time.
Yeah,
we
we
talk
talk too
all the
much.
damn time. Yeah, we talk too much probably. You talk a lot.
Yeah.
You definitely talk a lot.
That's me.
I learned to talk a lot more once we got in a relationship with
Yeah.
each other.
I do. Yeah, I talk a lot.
So, with this, I want to move into another part that I think is essential to mention is maybe you don't see this in your relationship. Maybe you can't address it on your own. Maybe you guys can't work together to figure it out. Seek professional help.
Yeah. If you go to a therapist, they're huge. We have something called Lyra. It's like an online therapist that you just can like set up time with. And then also, not only that, but talking with friends about situations that you may be struggling with, that's also very helpful. But there's a lot of different avenues you can go down.
Well, what we did before we got married is we did months of marriage counseling.
Yeah.
And
That was fun.
we had a great time.
Yeah, because it talked about, the fundamentals of marriage. Are you actually ready for marriage? What happens when you have kids? All these questions that you don't really think about. That's the kind of thought-provoking questions that professional help can give you.
Well, it was so important, I think, because, at that point, after we'd been engaged and the year up to us leading up to us getting married, that we were doing this marriage counseling. We'd meet for like a few hours at a time. We thought we knew what it was like to be married and living with each other because we'd been together so long and we'd been through so much together at such an early stage in our relationship that we were like, oh, we can overcome anything.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Very wrong.
Very wrong. Because there were a lot of things that were brought up in that counseling that really got both of us thinking. And there were some good conversations, there were some hard conversations.
Yeah.
About a lot of things involving the now and our future. But it was so important that we had somebody who was completely neutral to anything that we had to say. Very partial, very open to hearing both sides of us and wanting us, okay, tell me more about that. Okay, well, how does this make you feel? Just really provoking you to dig deeper into conversation. And got a lot of conversations started for us as we were leading up to us getting married, which was already a very stressful year.
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on there. It was hard, but it was good.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was one of the best. It's a good experience to make, especially if you're getting married.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good thing to
Living together.
get that counseling.
Because there's a lot there. There's a lot that can go wrong. I'm just going to say, if
Yeah.
you are moving in or getting married or whatever with your significant other,
If you start right, very hard to go wrong. If you start wrong, very easy to go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so be prepared.
like if you guys as a couple have like a lot of ongoing issues, I wouldn't recommend that you take a big step right away.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can work this out between you two. You can seek, couples counseling or therapy or whatever it may be. But it's very important to get those things
Yeah.
worked out and really get thinking before you move into a big stage in your relationship.
I know that I've heard this a lot. Not even like I think I heard it on a podcast once, where a couple was struggling with their marriage, and so they thought having a kid would help them be closer. So they had a kid, and they got divorced. And it's one of those things where it's like those two things don't correlate with each other. There could have been a totally different route they could have gone that could help them in that situation. And so like just because you are struggling in one point, making a big step, going to a certain direction is not always the right thing to do.
I won't speak for everyone. Maybe that would work for people. But for us personally, I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
Is all your fake tea gone?
It's gone.
Do you want some of mine?
No, I'm fine.
All in all, it's just very important. If you do feel like you're struggling with this aspect of comfortability, mm-hmm. Is that how you say it? In your relationship, then if you feel like, you're really struggling to overcome this as a team, seek somebody externally that can help, just neutrally see into your relationship and provide guidance, because that was so important for us. I think it was really good. And he actually ended up marrying us too, so he's a very big part in our lives.
Yeah, it was good.
And we need to. I think even now, like, we're married, right? This person has been married for a very long time and
Mm-hmm.
could give us so much valuable insight into our marriage.
Yeah,
I think it would be important to even continue that, and just to not that you don't have to have problems really to seek anybody, but if you do, I think it would be good. But you don't have to. Just like now, I think we're doing pretty well, but it can't hurt to, talk with somebody. I think that would be good.
I agree.
Yeah. So all in all, this can be very hard to notice and address in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Being comfortable.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, it may be hard to address, but the other, like if you both aren't on the same page, it's hard to get the other person on the same page. Some people can take offense, like, to saying like, hey, why do you think being comfortable is bad? And that conversation can be hard as well. And it's a difficult thing to go through, but at the end of the day, if you can come to an agreement and work towards that goal of becoming comfortable, not overly comfortable in a relationship. Stagnant.
So you're not moving in any direction.
You got to move up.
You do.
Like in finances where you have
those trends,
your charts,
the charts.
You got to go up. And the second you start
charts.
going down, it's really easy. Look at 2008, for example. Okay, I got to stop talking.
We're not talking about money. So, yes, it's very important that you either, start to take proactive steps to really, keep this from happening. Or if you're in this right now, that you recognize it and that you can openly converse with your significant other and figure it out together. Mm-hmm. Because, if you don't, nothing good's going to come of that. It's not going to be good. I'm just going to say, because we've been there before and we were stuck in one place for a while. And it was really hard to get out of that until we both finally realized it and we're like, okay, something's not working. We got to figure this out together.
Yeah.
Because I'm not happy. I don't think you're happy. How can we make this better and work for the both of us? How can we grow together?
Yeah.
But have our own separate things that we do, but still grow together.
I agree. You're so good at talking. You know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, it's easy to talk about things, though, really, when you have experience with them and you want to learn more about them. And I just encourage everybody listening to this to evaluate where you're at in your relationship right now. And just let us know. We just want to know in the comments. You can comment down below if you're watching on YouTube or in the Q&A in Spotify. Let us know where you're at in your relationship. I don't know. Give like a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being not comfortable, 10 being too comfortable.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, I think not comfortable and too comfortable. You want to sit at that number 5.
Number 5 is good.
5 is good. 1 is like, you should probably talk to somebody.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be not comfortable in your relationship.
10 is have a conversation with your partner and be like, hey, let's get to 5.
Take be like, what's a 5?
Stop pooping all over me. Okay?
Let's get to a 5. What's a 5? A 5! I want to get to a 5! You just don't explain?
Oh, yeah, okay, that's funny.
Sometimes my jokes, that
went over my head, everyone.
That just went over.
I was looking at her, I was like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so all in all, it's very important to, recognize this, be able to work on it, communicate with your significant other, and just figure it out together and work as a team.
Yeah.
I've said work as a team in like every freaking podcast episode we've ever done.
You're right.
Yeah. But I want to give some more examples. Okay, let's think of some funny examples of things that you do when you're too comfortable around me. You leave the door open when you poop.
I walk around naked all the time.
You do push-ups before you get in the shower.
What's wrong with that?
That's bizarre.
That's not wrong.
Well, it's just really confusing. I think if anybody who wasn't me saw it, they'd be like, okay.
All right.
What else do you do? Oh, you just throw things in the pantry.
Okay. That's not a problem.
Like, there's an order. There's a method to my madness.
Okay, what about you?
I know. Let's think about me.
Yeah, you can't think about anything, can you?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well,
What do I do? You tell me.
Hallie is very comfortable with...
Sometimes if we get in arguments, I say things that I shouldn't.
Yes, 100%. I
But
agree.
you do too. That's a weakness that we both have, and we recognize that. The first step is recognition.
If I say something wrong, the whole day, it's over.
No.
Hallie's gonna
I'm getting
poop on me.
No, why do you say that? Like, literally nobody knows what that means, and it's just weird when you say it. No.
Okay.
See, okay, so I've gotten a lot better about that. I used to let it really affect my whole day, but now it affects like half my day, or like an hour.
We're getting better. Look,
we're
the
making
trend
progress.
is starting to go up. That's all we need.
It's important to recognize that. But it's important to recognize, yes, the things that maybe you're doing now that you wouldn't have done at the beginning of your relationship, but also it's important to recognize that you're making progress.
Yeah.
Like, I'm making progress, you're making progress. Every day we are trying to be better for ourselves and for each other. And that's the best that you can really do.
At least once a month, try and get together. Talk about your progress. Talk about yourselves. Talk about how everything is going. At least once a month. That's a minimum. Once a month.
Do it like once a week.
Once a week's the best. Minimum once a month.
Like, we were just watching a movie. We were watching The Change Up, if you've ever seen that, with Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman. And the wife in the movie, she just wants to sit down with her husband for an hour and talk. And he doesn't make it happen. He doesn't make an effort to make it happen. Mm-hmm. If you ignore that, if somebody's, like, if you just want to spend quality time with the other person, then that can be really detrimental to your relationship, I think. And it can just make things difficult. But if you honor that, like in the movie, they started to do it, and then their marriage only went up.
Mm-hmm. No,
Progress.
I agree. Well, Hallie, do you think this was a good conversation overall?
I thought it was a good conversation. I think we should talk more about it.
Like, how so?
No, I mean, like, I don't know. We're going to go get coffee. We can talk a little bit about the podcast and how everything went.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I want everybody to know that we are very thankful for you guys watching.
We are so
because
thankful. You have no idea.
You guys are killing it. Please like this video. Comment down below. If you don't like it, at least subscribe or follow us and give us 5 stars on Spotify.
You should. We've got a link tree in our
all
Instagram. All our socials.
And so make sure you check it out because it's pretty amazing.
Because we've got a Discord that you can be a part of. We Twitch stream.
Almost every night.
Yeah, we play Fortnite.
At least 2 times a week we stream on Twitch. So it's a really good way of chatting with us. But we really do enjoy this. We really enjoy commenting down below and chatting with you guys.
Down below. Yes, we love to look at the comments like the whole week that we post the podcast. We look at them every single day and we reply back. It's so much fun. Yeah, because it's a great conversation. You guys always have really good points and comments and questions that you bring up, and those fuel some of our following podcast episodes.
Yeah,
so
like somebody commented that they want to see an episode on expectations versus reality of marriage, which would be a really fun podcast to do.
It would be.
So
we're looking into it.
A lot of ideas. So you guys are the ones fueling this. So please, more ideas, the better. Hallie.
Oh, wait. Little life update.
Oh, life update. What's the life update?
We're going on a trip next weekend.
Yeah. So this podcast is going to be recorded in... We're going to have to do it in...
We got to figure that out.
New York.
We're going to be
DC?
in New York. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know where it is.
We have some stuff we're figuring out in the works. We're gonna work on that.
Very excited.
We'll post some stuff on our social media this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going on a trip next week and we're so excited.
And I'm
spend some good time together.
Anyways, this was amazing. Thank you guys for watching as always. And Hallie, what is this called?
Half Past Ja.
Yeah.
Our podcast.
This is our podcast. Half Past Ja. We are a married interracial couple who talk about everything
under the sun.
and anything.
Yeah.
As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Whew.